Everybody, it is Libby again on the WootRecruit YouTube channel. So, what is WootRecruit? Well, we are the only recruiting process designed specifically for the high turnover industry, such as cleaning, lawn care, roofing, construction, you name it. If you're in the service-based business, we are your go-to recruiting software. I have an amazing guest today, Amanda. If you could just give a quick intro on who you are, and we're going to jump into a really fun topic that doesn't actually get addressed very often.
Yeah. So thanks so much for having me. My name's Amanda, and I am a health and fitness coach that specializes in helping hygiene professionals and also even companies as well, and with their employees kind of learn and understand the benefits of a optimal health, fitness, and wellness routine. And in the sense of recruitment and kind of staffing, making sure that because if you have a healthy, thriving staff, that you will have less turnover, you will have less work absences, higher productivity. And I feel like there's definitely been a big boost in the most recent years, like with wellness budgets and all of that. So where it's kind of people like myself come in to bring that in. And so I've seen firsthand really the power of it and what it can do for not only yourself as leaders and business owners, but also as for employees and for other kind of support staff as well.
So I love this topic. I think you're right. As it's gotten more popular since COVID. We recently, I mean, I could go. We just filmed the Fearless podcast talking about how health and wellness helps us as entrepreneurs and stress management, but our employees also encounter stress. So I feel that this is so important across the board. But just the simple, sheer topic of leading by example. I've been on this journey of changing what I eat, and I started cutting out carbs and sugar like 3 years ago. I had no intention, Amanda, of like bringing people with me on this journey at all. I did it because well, one, I wanted to lose weight because I had my daughter. I think she was 2 or 3 years old when I started. Um, and I also needed to cut out inflammatories because I have really bad arthritis in my hands.
Mm.
Um, so it wasn't a lot of external visuals I was going for, and I had severe allergies, severe. Um, so I started on this journey, but I was sharing it on Facebook and on like Instagram, what I was doing, and all of a sudden I realized that my entire office staff was following me because they were following like health changes.
Hmm.
And I was just sharing it publicly, and our employees from both companies were like, "Oh, I started to do morning walks like you. Oh, I'm going to cut out carbs and sugar." And I would share a workout routine, and like my salesperson's like, "Oh, I'm doing your workout routine." I mean, I had no intentions of like anyone, especially in our companies, paying attention to me publicly on social media. And just the power of that, and seeing how it has changed the mindset of our staff has been crazy. But the other thing that you mentioned is creating a wellness budget. I don't think that that is a common line item on a P&L statement.
Hmm.
Um, and so share with us. So I don't, which you can lead this conversation because I love the wellness budget. We've created a fitness challenge, and in the software we just finished the second fitness challenge. And then like I want to talk about like snacks in the break room. Like it's one of my
Hmm.
biggest pet peeves when I see business owners like buying these horrible snacks for their employees. Um, so like you pick which way we want to go because we could cover a couple of them real fast.
Yeah, yeah. I think actually good point on that canteen because I've worked with quite a few companies ranging from kind of IT like LinkedIn. So I've seen their canteens to construction company
So
like big.
canteen is also break room, just so everybody
Oh,
knows.
sorry, break room. Yeah. So as you can tell, I'm from Canada originally, but now live in the UK. So they use canteen for I don't know what reason. But yeah, so break room. So they actually have like their own cafeterias. And yeah, a lot of the time it's, yeah, they got like free chocolate bars, and the lunches, it's like chicken fingers and fries, or there might be one salad maybe on the menu. And even then it's like packaged, dressing, and it's usually really fatty, and it's just not good. And a lot of the times the workers do use this in their, office. That's their main meals during the day, because usually, it's covered and everything else. But if we're putting those in our bodies, that's really not going to help with your staff's productivity. It's really not going to help with any energy levels. And in the long term, especially if employees aren't staying active and taking care of their, physical health, that, conditions can come up. And then if you are applying the, health insurance for them, that's just going to boost up your premiums, and it's just going to lose-lose situation for everybody. And so definitely, first and foremost, by taking a look at your break rooms and seeing what's in, or in your cafeterias, and seeing what's in there and what's available. It doesn't have to be a huge overhaul overnight, but even just putting in simple changes. The simple changes that I love to see or try to implement is maybe, like, especially if you're offering kind of meals during the day, by having, on the plates, it's kind of, you have some protein and some, slow release carbohydrates. It doesn't even have to be, it doesn't have to be quinoa and couscous or anything like that. It can be even just like whole grain bread rather than the refined white bread, simple changes, as well as some fruits and veggies and a bit of healthy fat. So if you can kind of, in any plates that you do offer in your work plates, of having those kind of a third, a third, a third. So protein, your carbs, and your fruits and veg, bit of healthy fats. That's a really good way to not only keep your staff full, but also energy levels nice and sustained, and just promoting a more balanced and healthy diet. And with the snacks as well, I know it's really hard to kind of fully transition right away, but even just simple steps. So maybe you still have the chocolate bars, but adding, a couple of different options, whether it's like, some nuts and seeds mix, or maybe some, kind of grazing like corn kernels, and, or maybe like even lentil chips rather than, the classical potato chips. It can just be simple things like that can be really, really powerful. And with regards to kind of fitness, I usually find, if you do have it in your budget, to be able to have someone come in and maybe do some fitness classes, or offer even some like group sessions or anything like that. But in your case, by the sounds of it, you did a fitness challenge. So it doesn't even have to cost, any money. You can just create a free challenge. I know a big thing here we did in the UK, especially when it was COVID, it was kind of, everyone got on Strava, or even like kind of certain apps, and they were kind of recording, just that accountability of, what's your Strava count, for the month, and, or what's your, I've seen cycling ones and like walking ones and jogging ones, and whoever got the most that month won a certain, reward, whether it was an Amazon gift card, which I think you were mentioning
We did
before
Amazon gift cards. Yeah.
that's what you did. But it could be anything, like, a gift card for anywhere, or maybe even a free, massage or something like that could also be a wellness thing for that as well. So there's definitely different ways to keep the workplace, happy and healthy and fit, but it doesn't necessarily have to break your budget. So if you do have the budget to do it, definitely recommend it. And you can start small as well. But if not, doing the simple free challenges can make a huge difference, because it also really promotes, community and kind of working as a team, which then will also translate into the actual work, the work that you do within the corporation.
Yeah, if we want to start small, one thing that we did was we did a health challenge. Someone was responsible for just tracking and like everybody's results, but we just did a simple 20-minute walk every day, and we wanted them to make one smoothie, like one like fruit smoothie a week, just one, not like every day, because we wanted it to be very simple. And we discussed
Yeah.
that in the Fearlessness podcast. Very simple, very easy. And so all we asked for proof, because not everyone had fitness watches to like send it in, we just asked to like not text, but take a picture of yourself and put it in the main channel. And so it created a lot of camaraderie, And it was also cool to see people like after hours and um, trying to make variations of their, fruit smoothie, because we gave them like one recipe a week for the fruit smoothie. But it was fun, and we were actually really surprised at the level of participation. We didn't think everyone was going to do it, and everyone didn't do it. But I would say I think 85% of our staff did it. The other people, like someone got sick and they felt bad. Um, so they kind of didn't do it. And then the other thing that was surprising when we did it was we were going to pick just one winner. We thought maybe just one person would win, but we had a bunch of people actually do the whole thing and win. So we
Mm,
gave everyone an Amazon gift card. Besides, just we were just surprised about the level of participation and just how it built that camaraderie with just a free, simple, like walk 20 minutes, take a picture of your smoothie. Um, they had to walk 20 minutes every day. But the other thing it did was they wanted to do another one after we did that because we made it so
mhm.
easy. And then so we did another one that was just a little bit harder, and it still had a really high level of engagement, and it was fun. Um, and it was interesting because in our weekly meetings, we would hear people like in the marketing department say, "Oh, I've been trying to lose weight and I love the fitness challenge because I'm finally like doing it."
Mhm.
Um, and so it was really interesting to hear how it affected our employees.
Yeah. Yeah, it does huge benefits. And also, even from a workplace perspective, as like leaders seeing, you can definitely tell the differences, like how people respond to certain things also. So, like you said, actually you realize within your workplace that that was a really good form of engagement and you see what makes people work. So then even when it actually comes to not, work related, like when you do work related things, whether it's like how can we boost productivity on a certain project or get actual like deliverables out that we want to do, now you actually have a really good basis of how your team responds to things and maybe the differences of what certain employees, tick and what makes others tick. So it actually gives you a really good insight on what your employees like and what motivates them, so then you can actually put
Hmm.
them onto the certain tasks that are applicable to them, will get the most out of them through your business. So by doing little things like this, it actually has more of a benefit than just getting them out and kind of into fitness again.
And I love it. It helps you see what motivates them. So
Hmm.
we saw that some people were not motivated by the money; they were motivated by the challenge.
Hmm.
And then on our second one, we teamed people up across departments. Like we had the buddy system. We
Yeah.
purposely crossed departments, and what really motivated people was not letting someone else down.
Mm,
I mean, like the fact that like it was just two people, and even I was paired with someone. Like I think I got paired with a new person that was in the company, and at 5:30 in the morning would roll around, and I'm like, oh, I can't let his name is Ricky and Ricky down. I have to get out of bed. I'm like, because it even kept me accountable, like how it
yeah.
motivates and it holds that accountability. It was very interesting seeing how your team works together, what motivates them. Is it the challenge? Is it the money? Right? Is it the accountability side? So that's a really great point. Is it really helps you see and understand your team on another level. Um,
Definitely.
well, before we wrap this up, because we've been on for a few minutes, we try to keep it at 10 to 15. Um, one thing that Amanda had mentioned was a a wellness budget, right? I think that right now with mental health being um, such a big issue right now, it's especially with our employees. I know a lot of business owners are asking, what can we do for mental health? Our employees are asking for mental health help, benefits, or even just acknowledging that there are mental health issues within their
Hmm.
company or with them or within their team. So I think this is a great place to start, as simple as it is and as low cost as it is. And I know in our P&L statements, we always have an employee engagement line item, right? It's employee engagement. And typically parties go in there, if we take everybody out to eat. But we could have a subcategory under our employee engagement that is more around employee health or wellness. They could also start to start to just help the mental health aspect just a little bit,
Mhm.
because it's a hard topic and we don't know how to approach it. As owners, like we don't know the right way to approach it. I've had many conversations with business owners. They're like, "What do we do? How do we approach it? How do we help?" And I'd love to get your insight on like just adding that to your, not so much the line item part. Like let's just break up the percentages and add a little bit to employee health. But do
Mhm.
you feel that it can help with that mental health that they're seeking, that our employees are asking for and seeking?
100%, because I've even seen that too. Yeah, before, because as you know, employers and as leaders, you want to make sure that also what you are investing, if this is a budget, that you're actually going to get an ROI, and a return, on that for makes worth for your money. And I know when it gets into the mental health side of things, typically it looks in the forms of therapists and counselors and
Mhm.
all of that, which can seem a little bit more, overwhelming, more dollar signs, and that can be really scary to be committed to, especially if you just don't know and you're new to it and you don't know if it's a valuable thing, which is where if you do end up, your physical fitness and actually your nutrition, there are mental health benefits that come with that. And so if you want to start a bit lower and see if it's beneficial, again, just starting with a couple different swaps in the break room might be a couple extra dollars, but seeing if that helps. And again, doing these free fitness challenges, and or maybe even getting, I know, if you do like a weekly yoga class or even weekly meditation class, that's all kind of mind and body stuff. And typically their hourly rate, because you usually do a full hour of like meditation, it would just be like maybe a 15-minute lunch meditation you have someone come in for. Or you can do a half an hour yoga session. This can also be done via Zoom, which typically also lowers the cost. So there's so many different, things that you can do that are a bit lower, on the budget that you're investing in, to almost kind of dip your toe in and see if it's worth it and see if you're actually getting the benefits. And I've seen
Yeah.
it again, time and time again, from companies, and I've been brought in as, a fitness instructor and doing, yoga and meditation, even like strength training. Cause I know the men, males employees don't always like the idea of yoga and meditation. So get some strength workouts in there. And they see the mental health benefits, and actually that is just enough for them. And then once you have more of the budget to commit to the actual, maybe therapists and counselors and kind of group working sessions, then you can do that. But also health coaching is a really good thing. There's definitely there's a surge in like group health coaching sessions. So also doing a group session is a really good one. Even from the therapist as well, if you want to do group counselings, that can really be a help, just to ease your way in, rather than feeling burdened and overwhelmed that you have to commit to kind of this high level stuff. Because I know the bigger companies are doing it, like the Googles and the Apples and all of that,
Yes.
but they have massive budgets, and they have also massive departments that can put the energy and resources and time into making sure it's smoothly efficient. I'm sure, especially with these service-based companies, that I know even from like, I'm a service-based company as well, and even the thought of having to add more on your plate, trying to organize and plan it can be a lot. So make it easier for yourself. Make it, whether it's free challenges, and starting with quick, like 15-minute, 30-minute sessions, or swapping out in the break rooms with the foods, seeing how that works. And at least you have a bit of evidence before committing to higher end, or kind of higher commitment services.
Yeah, and I know as a small business owner, sometimes we don't know if we can afford the full out therapist um, coverage, for mental health. But this is a great way to start. Like Amanda mentioned, a great way to dip your toe in it to see, does it help? Are they interested? And at least we're doing something to help versus not addressing it at all.
Exactly.
So,
Yeah.
you guys, that is a wrap. This was a great topic. I am so passionate about just being that example for our employees. If I won't eat it, I won't put it in our break room. So why, I shouldn't think that they should eat it. So I'm really passionate about like continuing that and just up leveling myself, but also bringing my team along with me. So that's a wrap for today's episode. Again, I'm Libby DeLucian, and it was my pleasure to guide you through kind of some of the ins and outs with Amanda on how can we up level our team. Because at the end of the day, this is going to help our recruiting, even though it may not have felt or sounded like it. Because if we do this, we're going to keep great employees. We're going to create great team members. And by doing that, we're going to attract even better team members. So it has 100% to do with recruiting and retention of the best people. And we all know that to get that competitive edge, it's the person who can recruit and retain that top talent. So for more insights and strategies, make sure to subscribe and follow us on YouTube. Until next time, keep pushing those boundaries of what you thought was possible in your hiring process. Let's make recruiting a superpower. I'll see you on the next episode.